How's it going, everyone? DragonFan96, and today we have some BTD Battles Salt. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. If you don't like it, then I don't really know what to really say to that, to be honest. I mean, if you don't like it, then there's a little X button on the top right corner there. You're welcome to click it if you want, but entirely up to you. So, with that being said, we're going to move on straight to our first opponent. I have some videos planned to be released later this week, one of which will be part 7 of Bowser's Dark Plan, and I also have a new video coming out. There'll be a new series to experiment with a little bit and see how well that goes. With that being said, we'll move on to our first opponent. Right, so our first opponent is Ninja Tower 4677, and this was a warm-up arena match in, Yellow Stadium. Don't worry, it's not just going to be only Yellow Stadium, but I wanted to warm up my sarcastic trolling, if you will. This opponent, for a better lack of context, wanted to go late game, and whenever I see someone say late game, unless they actually mean it, usually means I'm going to try making you lose as quick as possible. And with this opponent, it's no exception. They try to farm, and they take a lot of lives, and I also prevent them from getting group shot. Here, I actually make a 200 IQ move right here, and I believe I price gouge them for the final time, preventing them from getting a plantation. Well, they do get up a destroyer, which means that it's less time for them to farm, and right here, that was the part where I was like, okay, well, they're gonna get plantation, so I'm gonna prevent that, and they get that plantation pretty much at the start of round 8, and I get a reactor, and I send a lead, which forces Dragonflame Wizard. It also makes them sell their farm. Now, here is, you know, I kind of figured, or at least saw it coming, because I imagine I probably pissed them off with farming, not making them farm. And here they just send an all-out regen jam-packed rush. Like, I have a reactor up with a sub. Okay. Like, I don't really know what they were thinking, to be honest. And here's the other thing too, because they all outed, they had just a destroyer, which means they would not have been able to recover at all. I did the math, they would not be able to recover. It's quite unfortunate, really. Anyways, without further ado, we're going to move on to our next opponent. Alrighty, so here's our next opponent, Eddie Barrett, 187. And before we continue, the context for this opponent is that I believe it was like water map, or it was like a water map or some kind, and they didn't want it, so they decided to skip into a shapes and was like, okay, I can do shapes. Unfortunately, my opponent did not want shapes. They got really salty in the match prior to this, and so I figured, okay, well, they're probably gonna do some kind of tomfuckery to like screw me over. Also, Tech Ninja Village, well, that's useful in, say, like, boosts only or something, or maybe even free power-ups if you want to do, like, practice rounds or something. It's not going to be very effective in Speed with Fire, just going to point that out. This is a Ceramic Crucible Speed with Fire match that happened, like, I think a week ago at this rate. So I just begin setting up, which is getting Rubber to Gold, and getting a Glaive Ricochet as quick as possible. Here they get up attack, but that attack is not gonna really help them out. For lack of better terms, they probably should have done a random with fire first over a attack, but that's just me. Here they just kind of hemorrhage lives in a way because I'm just ecoing at this rate. Here I send a regen lead to force something on them, and I believe here is when I get a Glaive Lord. Yep, I get the Glaive Lord. They get up a Rain with Fire, then they remove the Rain with Fire and get up a Intelligence Bureau. Kind of an odd play, if you ask me. Personally, I would have probably stuck with getting the Rain with Fire anyways, on top of the Blade Shooters. At least that's what I see with most Tech Village Ninja players, but whatever. Right here, they facepalm me like, bruh, you're so gonna lose, and it's like, okay, whatever. So, here's the thing that I really didn't understand what my opponent was doing. Okay, because, like, they were going Tech Village Ninja. They were gonna really lose fast. So here they send a Moa, a Camo Regen Ceramic, and some Regen Ceramics with Quick Shot. Now, here's the thing. They say see ya, but here's the thing. Yeah, they just kind of die. Like I don't really know exactly why they decided to send all that, thinking that they would be fine, because they still have to deal with ceramics that popped from that Moab, which would have happily went through before my defenses. So, yeah, not sure what they were thinking, but anyways, we're gonna move on to our next opponent. Alright, so here's the next opponent, Champion. I'm only showing this just because of how funny it is, with this opponent in particular. They started okay, but then they just kind of, I don't know. Like, are they trying to, like, patronize me trying to play or something? Like, I don't know. Like, they would have lost had they continued, but, you know, as you can see from the battle time, yeah, yeah. Anyways, they just kind of be like, well, whatever they're doing. Or something. They have two wizards, they get up a Dragon Flame, and then they get up, like, all this eco and shit, okay? And I'm not exactly certain why. So here, I just kind of get up a second ice because I try to predict knockout. Unfortunately, Tower Blindness would actually affect everything, and I would actually probably have been screwed. Maybe. I'm not sure. Probably not, honestly. I don't know. But here they're just like, haha, my defenses are, like, they surpass yours or something, or, like, I was able to out-eco you or some shit. And honestly, I mean, yeah, they probably would have out-ecoed me for a fair bit, but, late game they would have lost. And here they just kind of DC, and I'm not sure why. I have a feeling it is due to their internet and not an actual rage quit or something. I honestly don't know. I honestly couldn't care less. But the funny thing of it is that they were part of a clan of a pretty popular Bloons tuber. They are known as Lee as a Team. You have a little bit of dead weight in your clan there, Lee. Might want to consider talking to whoever Champion is and addressing that. Anyways, moving on to our next opponent. Alright, so here's the next opponent. We have Youssef Mohammed, I believe. I'm sorry if I butchered that. I'm trying my best here. But yeah, we have our next opponent here, and they go farm Ninja Ice, and I was like, okay, they're probably gonna have Super Fourth. They didn't have Super Fourth. They have Heli, which honestly kind of shocked me. But here they just have Rubber Gold with Lightning Bolts, and it's like, okay, cool, whatever. I mean, that's gonna get you, like, what, a free plantation? Like, woo. That's not gonna do you too much, but yeah, they just kind of do Lightning Bolts to get up a BIA, which I don't think would help. Like, honestly, if it's like this early, I would go for Factory first and then BIA, but that's just me. because that way you have more instant bendable cash. But yeah, I'm gonna speed this along a little. I sent that camo lead, by the way, to try forcing the viral frost, but they were already gonna set it up anyways, but it was just to force anyways. So here, this is when I realized, oh, they had Apache this entire time, like they had Heli this entire time. So here, I kind of predicted that they were gonna send something, so I use acid to basically pop down the mod layer, and then just use ice shards with AI to shred through the rest. And then here they start sending me so my gods, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm setting up a temple. And yeah. So yeah, there's oh my gods just kind of get. They just kind of get shredded. I apologize for the little bit of lag here as I TT spam. I TT micro these oh my gods into BFBs into nothing, and when I did that, they rage quitted. Yeah, they lost hard, to be honest, because Heli, contrary to what people may believe, Heli is not going to work late game. The latest I've ever seen someone ever use Heli and not use super was like mid round 40s. If you're lucky, maybe round 50, and that's only if you're lucky. But otherwise, yeah, it's kind of a yikes. Anyways, moving on to our next opponent. Alrighty, so here we are with our next opponent, and this is going to be a two-part match, for the most part. So we have Demon Child V2, and this opponent was very interesting, to say the least. Basically, I kind of got a little extra toxic on them because their rating wasn't exactly great, but at the same time, I mean, it was still a 60% win-loss, so it's like, okay, they at least know what they're doing. But it's also Bonanza, so not exactly certain why they're going like a boost-only loadout, which is Boat Boomer Farm. And I was like, okay, well, they're clearly going to have something up their sleeves if that's what they're going to do. Like, you don't just go Boat Boomer Farm and not have something late game. So here they send me pinks, and it's like, oh no, pinks. Whatever shall I do? So I'm going to just speed ahead here, because this match is really short when you think about it. So here they get up like a destroyer, they have the Bionic Boomer, and they get up Cannon Ship later on for lead detection, even though the Bionic Boomer is just there. Alright, so here, I get up a Viral Frost, and I set up the second village for camo detection, which does actually show the it actually does impact the glue and that ice, and so I was like, okay, they're gonna have quick shot, and I already knew that was coming, so I immediately just went straight for Viral Frost. Like, I predicted that shit so far ahead, like, I knew they were gonna have something, and it's probably usually gonna be knockout anyways, so I mean, I don't understand why opponents like these just try to rely on knockout, and here, they're just upset, like, it didn't work, like, their strategy failed, like, they're now at a loss of what to do. So, if they didn't do it the first time and thought, oh, well, that didn't work, let's try it again. So here they send ceramics, and it's like, let's get rid of the glue this time. Because the glue is what's causing the problem, and it's like, if you saw me get rid of the Viral Frost the last time and get down another one, what makes you think that it's going to work a second time? Like, if I predicted it the first time, do you really think it's going to work a second time? Like, really? So from here, they just kind of panic a bit and just put down random defenses. They get up Monkey Pirates, which I guess is understandable, because I guess they think I'm going to send, like, a BFB rush, when that's not exactly what I do. So they still have one more quick shot and knockout, and here they send a BFB, and they knock out the village, but I didn't even have to do anything that time, because they knocked out the village at the worst possible time. This was also when I realized that, the village can shred through Moab and BFB, and if you get enough of them, they can shred Oh My God. And you'll see in this next match, which is like the third rematch with them. The second match was actually pretty boring. It was just them going some weird, wacky strategy. It was like Tack Ice Glue Wizard or something. And they didn't have knockout, but they lost to not seeing camo. So here they just send all these BFBs and Oh My Gods. And I'm just like, okay, cool. I have a Super Monkey, because I actually play Bonanza the right way. And yeah. My opponent does not have any eco at all. Like, the only thing that's saving them right now is that factory. So I basically see them rage quitting at any moment now. They don't rage quit, they just kind of keep sending ceramics, lead, zebras, like... And they're out on knockouts and quick shots, so they can't really knock out anything else. So here, I just sent some Oh My Gods just to force something, and I force a boost, which is fine. Here, they try to Monkey Pirate those Oh My Gods, but fail. I actually didn't notice that. Here's another thing, too, that I learned that really helps with rushing. Rush in bursts of 3. That will usually force something. You don't have to go all out, just bursts of 3 every so often. Okay, and it will force something, and if it doesn't force, it's gonna kill. Because, yeah, it causes them to panic. Anyways, moving on to our next opponent, or the rematch of this. So here is the, I would say, official rematch. I mean, the second match that we had, it was Mines, or no, it was Marsh. And it wasn't exactly entertaining. So here is the third rematch that we had at this rate. The opponent's got to be pissed at this rate. So they go, they use boat mortar, and I was like, bud, like, if boat boomer didn't work, what makes you think that boat mortar is going to be any different? So, yeah, they, when is it? They get, when is it when they get mortar? They get up the Republic. Is it here when they get mortar? Oh no, that's when I force mortar, is that one pink. Oh no, that's when I force, okay. That's when I get the, okay. So from here, I had village as my fourth, like I did last time. That was actually a misclick on my part. I was meant to say well done, but oh well. I mean, one under the bridge, I don't think it would have mattered too much. So here, I just kind of continue going on about my business. I eco a bit, I predict whatever they wanted to do, but I didn't think what... Okay, I guess they sold their farm and placed it... I'm not going to question it. So from here, I just kind of eco a bit. They get up a single factory. Yeah, they send that little bit of Regen Rainbows just to, like, bait something or something. I don't know. They get up all these mortars and shit, and it's like, I'm not sure exactly why. Like, it's not gonna do much. So, my opponent just kind of starts sending Oh My Gods. Spaces Oh My Gods. And this is the part where I was like, okay, well, I can just have some of my guys just get shredded by villages. And this is when they had knockout again, and quickshot again. Like, if it didn't work the last match all 3 times, let's use it again on this same opponent to try, you know, confusing them or some shit. Like, knockout does not work, okay? It does not work. The only time it will ever work is, like, on 3 maps at this rate. 3 maps it will actually work. And that's going to be Wizard's Keep, Zen Garden, and Temple. Okay? Those 3 maps are probably the only maps where I would see knockout actually working because of how short they are. Any other map, maybe even Mountain Pass too, now that I think about it. Or indoor pools. Actually, no, indoor pools you could probably cheese a little. But, yeah, short maps, yeah, knockout would probably work and you would probably get away with it. It's petty and stupid, and I don't recommend that you try to use knockout just to win. But, you know, here I actually did do a misclick with deactivate abilities. I think it was just so that way they couldn't mortar salt. I think they also gave up, too, the fact that I just kind of used village and sent a single Zemagod. But, yeah, they rage quitted on the 4th match. It was mines, and, yeah, they were not happy. They just left. They rage quitted. Anyways, that will do it for that, and we're going to move on to our final opponent of the day. Alright, so here's the last opponent. The best opponent, I say for last. This opponent was interesting, to say the least. So, this was Rainbow Ruins Bonanza, by the way, with no Cobras. And, my opponent decided to greed. And I kind of get, like, anime protagonist levels of adjust glasses and gets, like, up in your grill about greeting. Because if you don't put down defenses and you just sit there and put down farms over defenses, I'm going to punish you for that. Like, I'm going to make you burn through those trick powers. So here they send, like, a space pink and then, like, try to eco with blues, like that's going to do something. And then this is when they start putting down wizards. And then they start sending me space balloons, like, that's gonna do something. And I'm just sitting here continuing to eco at this rate. As you'll notice, they start to get more and more wizards over here because they start to panic a bit. I think it's when I start ecoing with yellows is when they start panicking. They send regen yellows, and I'm not sure why, because I have ice that can chart through everything. For the most part. But, whatever. Here, they just kind of, like, put down, like, all these wizards to, I don't know, make the round go faster or something. I really don't know what they were, like, thinking. So here I get Viral Frost. And I try to, like, predict, like, knockout or something. And, they didn't have knockout. Quite the contrary. So they get up all these factories, and then they start rushing. And I do apologize for the lag that you're about to get. So, here's what's gonna happen. Excuse me. So here's what's going on. Because the replay does not do it justice. Because the replay actually will make it look like I should have lost. In fact, I should have really hardly lost. And no, I didn't lose from this. I actually didn't leak a single life from this. Because Team Tower Stone is so short now, because the only time Team Tower Stone actually works is, like, Mountain Pass, and that's it. Like, I've Mountain Pass or Zen Garden. That's, like, the only 2 maps where Team Tower Stone actually would make a difference, to be honest. Anyways, so, what happens is basically they did, camo regen efficiency, which makes it to where camo regen, they cost less when you send a rush like that. Personally, I would have just stuck to budget balloons, because it just cuts the price in half overall. But that's just me. I believe you can actually combine the two, a bunch of balloons and camo regen efficiency, and you can get some sizable chunky rushes for a quarter of what it actually originally costs. Like, instead of spending 20k, you can spend 5k and send equally amount of balloons. Anyways, so the viral frost and the glue. The viral frost decamoizes the camo part, and it's just regen. So basically, they're already wasting money by sending camo regen rather than just regular regen. So from here, what happens is when you team tower stun, some of those camos leak through, and at first they did start to leak through. And like I said, this is where it'll look like I'm like leaking a bit. And I was like, okay, I'm starting to struggle because about where the glue is like gluing is about where they were starting to leak past, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna need to do something about this. They waste their team tower stuns already, and I was like, okay, there's gonna be a little bit of lag going on. And like I said, I do apologize. That's ice shards trying to shard everything, and yeah, it can get pretty laggy. So like I said, I do apologize. Here they go for a third time with camo regen efficiency. Like, it didn't work the last 2 times, so let's do it again. So I'm going to speed this up a bit. And then here they send a Moab, but unfortunately they start to DC on me, and so the rest of the replay is hidden. Unfortunately for them, I was able to record the rest of the match. So let me just pull this up. And here we go. Now, I apologize that you won't be able to see the names for the rest of this match. And I also apologize that you won't be able to see anything else. By the way, this is them showing, sending the Regen Rainbows. This is the kind of lag that I was talking about. Like, there was a lot of lag in that match, and I'm not sure why. I thought it was the ice shards at first, but it was actually them. And here you can see the Regen Rainbows, as I was talking about. Yeah, they didn't get very far, to say the least, this entire time. And this is a live recording, so you can see that I didn't lose a single life. So from here, my opponent just kind of got up eco a bit more. They eventually started putting up a temple right here. By the way, they kept sending Regen Rainbow, camo Regen Rainbows for some reason, like throughout the entire time, and it was like really draining them at this rate. And they were also trying to get up a temple, so it's like they were really hurting for eco at this rate. So I'm gonna move this along here. They put down a lot more towers than they need to be honest. So I'm just sitting there, I'm getting eco, and they finally get up a temple. And this is when I was like, okay, I might as well get a temple up too, because I know they're probably gonna send me some gods. And they already knew that I had super anyways, because I used a Robo Monkey to pop the Moab, so I mean... and I was like, oh shit, I'm low, so I sell those, and bam, temple. And I was like, okay, well, they can't do anything about that temple anymore because they wasted their team tower stun, so yeah. They try to go for like a second temple, I think. I'm not entirely certain. Like, as you'll see, they like set up for like more than one temple or some shit like that. Like, I'm not sure exactly what they were trying to do. You'll also notice that they went from factories to BIAs, which also hurt them on eco. Like, I really recommend that they would have stuck to factories, especially after rushing extensively like that and draining themselves. but I digress. So I start setting up the next temple, and it's right as I start finishing up that temple, I start sending some of my gods, and yeah, I just kind of ice-stall it, and yeah, this is when they all out. They sell all their BIAs. They start sending some of my gods. And it was... yeah, right here is when I was predicting the rage quit, because it was right after that I start putting down a glue, and bam, they surrender. They literally forfeit from the match. And that's all she wrote. So, with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed. You'll slowly see this side now through the rage quit side. Like, you can sort of see it. At least their eco a little bit. It is quite interesting to see what their eco was before they started, you know, hemorrhaging. Yeah, this is when I was like, see ya, and then bam. Yeah. Anyways, that will do it all for now. And, I hope you enjoyed that little salt video, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.